in a quiet village, nestled in the heart of the Swiss Alps. The houses here are built in a traditional style, their wooden facades standing proudly against the crisp mountain air. The rooftops, covered in aged shingles, give a sense of history, of time passing slowly in this secluded corner of the world. The streets are empty, silent, save for the occasional flutter of a bird or the distant sound of a cowbell. The village seems untouched by time, a place where life moves at a gentle pace, where the modern world has yet to intrude. Moving towards the edge of the village, the houses become fewer, replaced by rolling green hills stretching as far as the eye can see. The scent of fresh grass and wildflowers fills the air, carried by the gentle wind. Suddenly, a powerful roar breaks the silence. Ahead, a magnificent waterfall cascades down the rocky cliffs, its white waters crashing into the stones below, sending mist into the air. This is nature's symphony, raw and untamed. The water flows with unstoppable energy, cutting through the land, carving its path through centuries. Following the winding road, the scenery begins to change. The village disappears into the distance, and in its place, a new town emerges. This is Wallenstadt, a picturesque settlement nestled between towering mountains and the vast expanse of Wallensee, one of Switzerland's most beautiful lakes. The town is livelier, with people walking along cobbled streets, stopping by local bakeries and cafes. The aroma of fresh pastries fills the air, mixing with the scent of brewing coffee. Traditional Swiss houses stand side by side, their flower-adorned balconies adding splashes of color to the otherwise neutral palette of stone and wood. Beyond Wallenstadt, the road stretches out into the open, leading into the vast Swiss countryside. The contrast is breathtaking. One moment, the town is bustling with activity, and the next, nothing but rolling green meadows and endless sky. The sound of civilization fades, replaced by the whispers of the wind through the grass. To the left, the mighty Alps rise, their peaks dusted with fresh snow. The sky is a brilliant blue, and the sun shines brightly, casting long shadows on the hills. In the distance, a small herd of cows grazes peacefully, their bells creating a gentle melody that echoes across the valley. As the journey continues, another town appears on the horizon. This is Flums, a place where tradition meets modernity. The town is charming, with its historic church standing tall in the center, surrounded by charming cottages and modern buildings. People go about their daily lives, some stopping to chat, others carrying baskets filled with fresh produce from the local market. Leaving Flums behind, the road begins to climb. The altitude increases and the air becomes cooler. The trees lining the road grow taller, their branches swaying gently. Up ahead, the mountain resort of Flumserberg comes into view. A popular destination for both summer hikers and winter skiers, Flumserberg is a gateway to some of the most breathtaking alpine trails in Switzerland. Stopping for a moment, the view is nothing short of spectacular. Below, the valley stretches endlessly, dotted with villages and fields. Above, the jagged peaks of the Alps pierce the sky, their snow-capped summits standing as silent sentinels over the land. Descending once more, the road winds through Trulli, another quiet settlement nestled between the mountains. The houses here are spaced far apart, surrounded by vast fields and the occasional cluster of trees. The sense of solitude is profound, a reminder of the peaceful, unhurried life of rural Switzerland. Continuing the journey, the road winds gently through the valley, flanked by towering mountains dusted with snow. The soft hum of the engine blends with the distant echo of cowbells, a signature sound of the Swiss countryside. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of pine and fresh grass. As the vehicle ascends a gentle slope, a panoramic view of a turquoise lake comes into sight, cradled between the mountains. The reflection of the sky shimmers on the water's surface, disturbed only by the occasional ripple from a passing boat. Small wooden cottages dot the shoreline, their chimneys releasing thin wisps of smoke. Further along, the journey takes us through a dense forest. Sunlight filters through the canopy, creating a mosaic of light and shadow on the winding road. The sound of a nearby stream trickles softly, merging with the occasional chirping of birds. Exiting the woods, the landscape opens into vast meadows where wildflowers sway in the breeze. Approaching another quaint village, the architecture takes on a charming rustic appeal. Wooden balconies overflow with vibrant geraniums, and cobbled streets lead to a small central square. A bakery stands at the corner, its aroma of fresh pastries inviting passersby. A few locals are seen enjoying coffee at an outdoor cafe, exchanging friendly conversations. Leaving the village behind, the road continues through undulating hills, revealing yet another striking vista. A herd of goats grazes lazily by the roadside, their bells jingling as they move. The mountains loom closer once more, their sheer cliffs rising dramatically against the sky. Waterfalls cascade down the rocky faces, their mist catching the golden hues of the setting sun. We continue our journey deeper into the Swiss countryside, where nature and tradition merge into a seamless harmony. The road stretches ahead, winding through lush green meadows speckled with wildflowers swaying gently in the wind. Each step brings us closer to the heart of the Alps, where the towering peaks stand as silent guardians over this breathtaking land. The village of Birches comes into view, a quaint settlement with rustic, wooden homes and narrow cobblestone paths weaving between them. Smoke curls from chimneys, carrying the scent of burning wood into the crisp alpine air. The distant chime of a church bell rings softly, marking the passing of time in a place where life moves at its own unhurried pace. A herd of cows grazes peacefully in a vast field, their bells creating a rhythmic melody that echoes through the valley. The farmers, clad in traditional Swiss attire, tend to their livestock with practiced ease. An elderly man waves from his front porch, his weathered hands resting on a wooden cane. There is a sense of timelessness here, where generations have lived off the land, their lives intertwined with the mountains and rivers that shape this region. As we leave Birches behind, the landscape begins to change. The path narrows, leading us through a dense cluster of towering fir trees. Shafts of sunlight filter through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. The sound of trickling water grows louder as we approach a hidden waterfall, its cascading torrents plunging into a crystal-clear pool below. Mist rises from the base, catching the sunlight in a dazzling display of shimmering rainbows. The air is filled with the fresh scent of pine and damp earth, a sensory reminder of nature's raw beauty. From here, the trail opens up to reveal Waylandstadt, a town nestled beside the deep blue waters of Walensee. The lake stretches endlessly, its surface mirroring the snow-capped peaks that surround it. Small boats bob gently along the shore, their sails catching the light wind as fishermen prepare their nets. The town itself is alive with a quiet charm, its streets lined with bakeries and cafes offering fresh pastries and warm coffee. A young couple sits by the lake's edge, skipping stones across the water, their laughter blending with the distant call of seagulls. We move onward, heading towards Flumserberg, a region known for its sweeping alpine pastures and breathtaking vistas. The ascent is gradual, revealing new layers of the landscape with each step. At the summit, the world unfolds beneath us in a panoramic masterpiece: rolling hills, scattered farmhouses, and the ever-present majesty of the Alps standing proudly in the background. A lone hiker pauses to take in the view, his silhouette framed against the golden glow of the late afternoon sun. Descending into Flums, we pass through another tranquil village, where children play outside a small schoolhouse, their voices full of youthful energy. A woman tends to a window box filled with bright red geraniums, the traditional flower of Swiss homes. A horse-drawn carriage clatters along the road, carrying fresh produce to the town market. The aroma of freshly baked bread drifts from a nearby bakery, inviting travelers to stop and savor a taste of the region. The journey continues, leading us towards Churlich, a lesser-known yet equally captivating settlement. Here, the architecture speaks of centuries past, with stone walls and timber-framed houses standing resilient against time. The village square is a gathering place, where locals exchange news and share stories over steaming mugs of mulled cider. A musician plays a soft melody on an alpine horn, his music drifting through the crisp evening air, carrying with it the soul of the mountains. With one last glance at the landscape, we reach the final town, where warm light lights flicker in the windows, welcoming travelers home. The journey through Appenzellerland has been one of discovery, a walk not just through a place, but through a way of life deeply connected to nature and tradition. As night falls, the countryside settles into a peaceful slumber, ready to greet another day